I just bought the cheapest Honda Jazz at WeBuyCars to prove that you can buy a safe and reliable car for under 100,000 Rand. Now, was it a big mistake? Stick around to find out. In a recent video, I warned viewers against falling for ads that advertise new cars at low monthly payments. Now, my suggestion was to rather save up and buy a second-hand car for cash and save the difference in a tax-free savings account. Now, a lot of the viewers in the comments said you can't get good, reliable second-hand cars for under 100,000. To put my money where my mouth is, I decided to drive 3 hours to the Polokwane WeBuyCars branch to see if I can find a good second-hand car. I spotted this 2012 Honda Jazz 1.5 Elegance on the WeBuyCars website after the price dropped from 70,000 to 62,000. The Decra report looked pretty clean. Everything was listed as either very good or as expected, apart from the axles and suspension. It had dust cover boots torn on the tie rod ends and the stabilizer bars, which are cheap to fix. And there were 2 fault codes on the ABS and the ESP module. So I immediately paid a 2,500 Rand holding deposit. So on the Friday I couldn't find a trailer to rent, so the Safari expert gladly offered to help me out, and I attempted to drive this Honda back home. While I was at WeBuyCars, I looked around to see if I can find anything better than the Honda Jazz for under 100,000 Rand. So at WeBuyCars, I did a proper inspection. The interior looked clean, the outside looked clean, apart from a few dings here and there. The main thing was to look for accident damage or repairs, especially in the front end. I looked at the condition of the oil and the coolant for contamination, started the car, listened for weird noises. It idled smoothly. I also listened at the exhaust, looked for smoke while my brother was revving the car. Everything checked out. I then let the car idle for at least 15 minutes to see if the temperature was stable, it didn't get hot, and then took it for a test drive. Immediately I felt a loud clunking noise from the front suspension, which was probably the stabilizer bars. It said partial history, Everything checked out, so I did the paperwork, paid the rest of the purchase price and drove it home. Okay, so I've driven 116 kilometers since we left WeBuyCars in Polokwane, and I'm doing the speed limit with the aircon on. It's not a very hot day, but the average fuel consumption is 4.5 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, I can't do the quick maths, that's the wrong way around. Go check out my video on fuel consumption calculations. But anyways, that's more than 23 kilometers per liter. That is insane for a high mileage car. That only costs 60,000 Rand or 62,000 Rand. So far, I can't figure out why it was so cheap. Maybe there's some hidden surprises. But if there are no surprises that pops up, why would you ever want to buy a new car if you can get something like this? At the end, I averaged 5, which is 20 kilometers per liter, with a 13-year-old car with 220,000 kilometers on the clock. Proof that these Honda Jazzes are really amazing cars even today. Let's take a closer look. It's got 220,000 kilometers on the clock, and the only issues that you can immediately see, the tires in the front I think has 2 millimeters left, the rear is 5, so that's good. Here on, you can see small little dings there, maybe you can't even see them. There's a bit of a dent which I'll try to remove myself, but there's no scuffs on the paintwork. And then on the roof there's a few small little dents where something probably landed on the car. But on the inside you can see how clean this is. I mean, there's almost no wear on the seats. It's a bit dirty from my feet, but even the carpets, everything just looks in great condition, and the aircon works perfectly well. It's got a very big boot, and the seats fold completely flat into the floor. So we'll make a proper review video on this. So let me know if there's anything you want to know on the Honda Jazz. So at this point I haven't seen anything that's a red flag. They had to jump start it, so the battery was flat, which is probably the reason for those trouble codes. We'll scan them in the next video, and there's no check engine light, and everything seems to be working fine. So the first thing I was looked underneath, and I saw the 2 side belly covers were loose, so the middle one is missing, and that I thought was the reason for the noise. I removed them and took it for a drive, but it wasn't that. I kept hearing the clunks, so I checked the stabilizer bars and the ball joints were completely shot. So I bought 2 new ones, 200 Rand each, took about half an hour each side, and now the car runs like a new car. But I think I found the catch. When I did some research on the specifications of the Honda Jazz from 2012, I had a closer look at the engine number. And I saw this one starts with the L13Z. And in my mind, 13 means 1.3, not 1.5. So Wikipedia and GPT confirmed that what I've actually bought was a Honda Jazz 1.3 Comfort, not the 1.5 Elegance as advertised on the WeBuyCars site, the Decra report and the invoice. So honestly, I probably would have bought it anyways, but it made me wonder, how does this happen? I've made a few videos on incorrect titles and descriptions at WeBuyCars. So in a future video, I'll dig deeper into how this happened and what you should look out for. So there you have it. Proof that you can buy a cheap, clean, safe and reliable car for under 100,000 Rand. And if you want to learn why you need to be careful when you look at new car payments, check out this video. Or if you want to see my process looking for a second-hand car, check out this one. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and then I'll see you next week.